Well, howdy there, your old James, political friar, coming to you again. I got the University of Oregon hat on, so we're going to have a purely political topic this evening. In this case, it's going to be whatever happened to Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. Uh, these two folks were vociferous with their criticism of Donald Trump. They were as vociferous with their criticism of Donald Trump as J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. What happened is that cynicism that we were talking about in the last video, well, it took hold. It says, listen, it doesn't matter how good your ideas are. If you're not in power, you don't get to do it. So do what it takes to get into power. And what it takes to get into power at this point, if you have an R next to your name, is to bend the knee to Donald Trump. It's not particularly American in the concept that the founding fathers might have had regarding how American politics might work, but it's deeply human. And maybe America is just getting old enough. Maybe America is just getting old enough to shed its idealist concepts with the founding and say, well, that's just old ideas, and maybe we should go back to some more bare buckled standard ways of thinking about how humans interact with each other. So the realist in Nikki Haley said, yeah, I'm going to show up at the Republican because she styles herself as a Republican regardless of whether the Republicans agree with her, because maybe they'll agree with her in the future. I'm going to show up at the Republican convention. I'm going to give a talk about how Republicans are better than Democrats. Okay, sure. DeSantis did the same thing because, of course, they did. Because principle in politics don't mix. Liz Cheney is probably a multimillionaire because she is the most vocal person in opposition, but she has no political power whatsoever. The fact is that Nikki Haley, she doesn't see her future with the Republican Party as over. And considering that she doesn't see her future with the Republican Party as over, she had to do this. She had to swallow her tongue, choke, die maybe, and praise Donald Trump. Oof. Must not have been a nice night for her, but it was one that she had to do. And one that DeSantis had to do too if he wants to have a future. The future of the Republican Party is at least paying lip service to Trumpism. Even if you say something that is completely contrary to Trumpism, well, the nice thing about Trumpism is it's ill-defined, so you can just go ahead and say it was Trumpism. Donald Trump is 78 years old. There will be a future after Donald Trump. And Nikki Haley is interested in maybe contributing to it. So if Donald Trump loses in 2024, well, Nikki Haley has the ability to say, I told you so. Hey, Ron DeSantis does too. And if Donald Trump wins come 2024, well, ain't nobody his obvious successor in 2028, maybe J.D. Vance, but Nikki Haley still got more primary votes the first time around than J.D. Vance did. So this is something where they're setting themselves up for the next election. They're not worried about the next 4 years because they don't have any influence over them. What motivated Nikki Haley to show up at the Republican convention is her sense that maybe she has a role in the Republican Party's future. And if you have a role in the Republican Party's future, you show up. It's just like you show up to the company summer vacation. If the company is hosting a party at the zoo, you show up. Because if you don't show up, you're out of the game. Well, Nikki Haley showed up. Don't take too much of it. I'm not sure that it means anything at all. Anyway, it's just a thought. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave me a message. Hit that like button. Maybe subscribe. That would be great. And I guess I'll see you soon. Thanks.